In just a few minutes, small business owners can now sign up for Blackfoot Communication Services. Whether it's dependable voice options or internet services, sign up simply by visiting blackfootsmallbusiness.com. Click on the services you wish, select an installation time and date, and you're done. Small business services at the touch of your fingers. Connect to more with Blackfoot Communications and blackfootsmallbusiness.com.
Welcome, everybody. Week 3 already. Montana hosts Ferris State, defending D2 national champions this weekend in Missoula. We got Brandon Casey with us on the offensive line, Trajon Cotton, safety, and we'll start with Coach Hauck today. Coach, your final thoughts on a good win for the Griz down at Utah Tech and Ferris State coming to town this weekend.
We're excited to be 2-0. It's good to go on the road and win convincingly like we did. I liked our preparation. I liked our effort. I thought our guys did a real nice job of putting in the work last week and then going down there and playing. This week's anytime you win, the games are big, and this is a big game for us. In regard to Ferris State, all these guys do is win. I think they're right now on a streak of 28 consecutive road wins. They've just been excellent. I think they've only lost 3 regular season games the last 8 years. They're just really something. We don't have a bunch of crossover with them, but you can see it on film. They've got good players and good coaching. You watch some of the guys. That defensive end they had last year's led the Seahawks in sacks in the preseason. I was just paying attention to that because Pat was there. But good football team. A lot of success. It's going to be a tall order to try to find a way to get a win this weekend.
Questions?
Bobby, just looking at Sam and Clifton's performances, how would you evaluate the way they looked on Saturday and the performances that they've had through 2 weeks so far?
I thought they did a good job both the first week and last week.
Was there anything particular with their performances Saturday that you liked that stood out to you?
No, just they played well.
Bobby, Nick's first game this season went pretty well, over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Eli rushed for another 2 touchdowns. What's it like to have these 2 guys in your backfield for every game?
Well, I like our backs. I think they're doing a nice job. When you can run the ball, that's not just the running backs. There's guys helping them. But when you're running the ball as successfully as we have, it gives your offense a chance to control the game and open up a lot of things. So, those guys are doing a good job. They're taking care of the football. They're running hard. They're hard to bring down, and hopefully get some more of that.
We've talked a lot about the quarterbacks and the running backs and all that. How about on the defensive side of things, though? What's your evaluation of the way your defense has played these first 2 weeks?
I think we played hard. I think we've tackled really well, which is probably where it all starts on defense.
One guy I wanted to ask you about specifically is Hayden Harris, who you brought in as a transfer out of UCLA. What did you like about him in the recruiting process, and how has he acclimated to the scheme, the system so far?
Well, he's a smart guy. He's really a strong guy intellectually, academically, and all that. So he's picked up the football piece pretty easily. Playing in our system, I think it was good for him that he was here in the spring. I think that helped him. He's just getting going. I think he'll play better and better through the season.
And Trajon, defensively, how would you evaluate things, especially given the fact that you have a new coordinator? Looks like you guys are doing some different stuff on the back end coverage-wise. How have you guys picked that up? How do you think that part's going?
Thank you for the question. I feel like just Coach Bradford's kind of instilling his direction, his standard, and safety-wise, we kind of have to bring it to the whole defense, being a veteran group back there, and I think we played well. I feel like we left a lot of plays on the field as well, and we'll just continue to improve every week.
And Bobby, you mentioned just the constant winning by Ferris State. I mean, looking at their head coach's record, I mean, he's in his career, if you count the high school stuff, I mean, he's like 360-40 or something like that. He's won like 85% of his games. When you turn on the film, what about this specific team, though, caters to the success that they've been having?
Well, I mean, there's lots of things that go into win it. It's not just one thing. I mean, I don't watch them practice. I don't watch them train in the off season. I don't sit in their coaches' meetings. But I can tell you that the product they put on the field is awfully good. So they must be doing everything right. You don't win like that just being good at something. They're probably pretty dang good at everything.
Is there anything that stands out particularly in terms of their style or their identity?
No, I think it's really the record. I mean, they win. All they do is win. They just win and win and win and win. And they're going to come in here this Saturday and try to win again, and we're going to try not to let them.
Trajon, third play of the game, Trevin gets that one-handed interception, kind of sets a tone for the entire game. You guys end up with 4 turnovers in that one. Just from the defense's perspective, how much did that kind of set it for you guys when he got that pick and you guys just kind of rolled from there?
It turned us up, every time someone makes a play, it kind of fires up the team and it gets us going. So when Trev made that play, it just turned the whole defense up and set the standard for the whole game.
Did you guys feel any difference between week 1 and week 2, being able to force all those turnovers? Like, what was kind of clicking that you guys were able to be kind of in the right place at the right time and make some plays?
I feel like we had a good week of practice. Our Tuesday practice was better last week than week 1, and each and every practice after that just kept getting better. So we just have to keep stacking those great practices, and it will translate on Saturdays.
And then, Brandon, all 3 of those interceptions turned into touchdowns on the offensive side of the ball. So for you guys, from your perspective, did it fire you up just when you see your defense give you guys extra possession? Just what was your guys' perspective that you guys were able to cash in those takeaways?
Yeah, it absolutely does fire us up. It gives us a little bit of momentum going into the drive. And so to answer your question, yeah, it does fire us up.
And then, Coach, just from your perspective, you talk about the turnover battle a lot and how important it is. So to see the offense take advantage of those extra possessions, just what from your perspective, how cool is that to see those guys get it done?
Well, I think either one of these men would tell you that it's something that's emphasized, and we want to capitalize on the opportunity to when we get the ball, and then we want to possess it our own selves and not give it away. And so when we can take it away and go down and get points, I mean those are huge momentum plays in the game, and momentum counts. You have to overcome it or you have to keep it, but momentum counts.
Bobby, the last 6 quarters, you guys have run the ball a lot and run it well, but you have some talented wide receivers. How much are you looking to get them involved more going forward?
Well, I mean, we call it the way we call it. So there's one ball. If we throw it every time, you ask me why the running backs aren't getting more carries, so I'm not sure how to answer that.
On the other side, there was some deep passes you mentioned on letting some vertical routes go and getting behind the cornerbacks. How important is that to clean up going forward?
Meaning catching the ball down the field on us, is that what you're asking about? Yeah, we need to defend the ball down the field, make plays on the ball, not let the receivers catch it.
And then from the defensive end position, I know 4 guys you've been rotating in there mainly. What are you looking for from them production-wise going forward?
What do you mean by production?
Just in terms of how much are you looking at the stats they produce versus something else that maybe doesn't show up on the stat sheet?
I don't look at the stat sheet. I watch the film, and I watch how they play. I watch their hand placement, their pad level, their execution, whether they ran the call correctly. And so that's what I'm looking for, execution out of everybody on this football team.
How's that been so far for those guys?
I think pretty good. I mean, we haven't given up much.
And Ferris State, looking at their linemen, offensive linemen who started, they're all about 6'4", taller, 300 pounds or more. What kind of stands out to you on film with their offensive line?
They're big and physical. I think they look very strong as well. I think they have a little bit of a nasty streak to them, which I admire. They're a good front. Probably back to what Coulter said, you probably don't win all those games without a pretty good front.
Trajon, got to ask about your first career interception. Long time coming. You've been so close on a couple. Take us through the play, what it felt like. I know you're a team guy first, but to get your first career interception after your long winding journey, how did that feel?
It felt amazing, especially to get in this Griz uniform. We were just in the cover 2 through the inside seam. Terrible throw, but I caught it. So it's just a blessing.
And Brandon, your role now, I mean, you've been a part of this program now for a couple years, and to flourish and to be the starting right tackle 2 years in a row. Let's talk about your career development and how much it's meant to you to be on a productive offensive line like this.
Yeah, as far as development goes, early in my career here, I had a lot of good mentors, Dylan Cook, Conlon Beaver, and then obviously AJ, Chris, Hunter. I think that played a big role, and just the coaching. Taking the coaching and trying to get better every day.
Brandon, through these first 2 games, as the offensive line, big storyline coming in was the continuity amongst you guys and kind of showing off in the run game. What's been working for these first 2 weeks for the run game for both Eli and Nick to have such big performances these first 2 weeks?
Yeah, coaches have put together a great game plan. It just is up to us to go out there and execute it, and I think these last 2 games we've done that well.
Have you just noticed that chemistry kind of carrying over from last year to this year, with just all the starters back and some of those backups here as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've got good depth on the O-line and a lot of guys who have been here a while and want to play.
Brandon, when you look at Ferris State on film, what are some of the things they do defensively? How do they look as you get ready for Saturday?
Up front, I think they're good. They have good size, good speed. They're well coached, and I think that they play hard.
And Trajon, do they do anything offensively that you've seen? What kind of stands out about the offensive side of the ball from Ferris?
They're a good team. They have speed at the receiver position. They run the ball well. It'd be a good challenge.
Bobby, it does look like they play 2 quarterbacks, so how often are they rotating them in there, and then how would you compare and contrast them?
We had 15 games last year plus 2 this year, so I haven't got a complete diagnosis on how they're rotating them or an opinion on that, but they do play 2. One of them's a little bigger than the other one. He is a downhill runner. They both do carry the ball pretty well. So I would say between the 2 of them, if one's in the game, they're probably going to quarterback run game a little bit more, and if the other one's in, they're probably going to throw it a smidge more. But I'm guessing when I get the final numbers that it'll be pretty balanced.
Coach, I know I asked you about special teams on Saturday, but I want to follow up on that. So many of your special teams units throughout the year seem to have a lot of similarities. But in terms of scheme, have things evolved, and if so, how have they evolved?
Well, I think you always evolve your scheme, So it's a constant evolution. I think the one thing that's a constant is that our guys play really hard and try hard in the kicking game. I think they care to know what they're doing and give effort for their team. So schematically, it changes all the time. It may change week to week. In fact, it does. But the techniques and the fundamentals are the same, and the guys doing them are the same.
You've coached some of the great returners in the history of the Big Sky Conference. How does Junior Bergen stack up with them?
Yeah, maybe college football.
Yeah, totally.
How does Junior stack up? Well, I think that chapter's yet to be written. I do. I think Junior's got great ability, and he's good at it. But he's been scoring some, which is unbelievable. But I think with more experience, I think he'll be even better.
Just for both players, any night game, obviously people here get excited and riled up. Just how excited are you guys with the blackout, kind of cool uniforms to, get a chance to play under the lights in front of the fans back in Missoula?
Well, that's kind of all for you guys, we still just playing football. We just got another night game, and we're ready to play some football.
Yeah, as TC said, just another game for us, but we're excited for it.
Anybody else? Thanks, everyone.
Join Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any Town Pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.